Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time on this channel, you're welcome. I am A.H.P. Chen. I'm an author and I also do business. Now today's video is me sharing with you something that is beginning to happen, and this video is for that part of my channel where we talk about real life issues. Um So, I'm going to be talking about the working class becoming the new poor in this global economic crisis. Okay. Now, um, when you actually say it to the working class, to people who work a 9 to 5, they get shocked. However, when they actually look deep into their lifestyle and everything, um, they realize that it's actually true that they are becoming the new poor, and um, and so it's very important that you know not only that you know what is going on in the economy, but also how you can stay afloat, survive the economic crisis. um, there are a few things that you can put in place to survive the economic crisis, but you have to be aware of it and you have to learn and to study these things, okay, so that you're able to apply it into your own life. All right. Now, why is the working class becoming the new poor in the global economic crisis? That is because inflation is going up and continues to increase, okay? And also because currencies around the world are being devaluated, okay? Because the central banks are always printing money. They're always printing money more and more and more. And the more you print money, the lower the value of that money becomes, okay? And then goods are becoming expensive because of inflation. Okay, so it's like a double-edged sword. Um, so the working class, they're working and working and working and working, but their salary is not going up. Their salary is remaining the same, um, whilst the cost of living is going up. You know, your rent is going up, your transport is going up, food is going up, um, leisure activities and all of that is also going up. And if you've got children, everything from childcare to children's clothes and all of that is also going up. Um, so they're becoming poor because their money is not their money is staying the same. However, the cost of everything is increasing. Okay. So now, what is the solution, you may be asking? And the solution is basically to find assets that you can, okay, that you can invest in to retain the value of your fiat currency, and also find assets that grows, um, increases in value, so that your money continues to increase, okay, so that once you sell that asset, you are able to have more money, okay, because the value of that asset has increased. Now, they don't have to be expensive assets, but you can um, invest in expensive assets if you do have the finance. But the simplest assets to invest in is things like silver, okay? Real silver coins. And that's something that I personally invest in. And don't just invest in those kind of assets for yourself, but also invest in it for your children, even if they're young, so that as they grow older, because the economy is not going to get any better, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. So you have to continue um, continue putting away assets, that you have to continue buying assets and putting them away, even for your children, so that when they become older, they become of age, they're not um, even worse off than you, the parent. So you can buy silver coins. If you've got more money and you are able to sacrifice, latter gratification, um, delayed gratification, should I say, buy gold. Gold retains its value, and that's how you keep the value of your money intact. It doesn't always grow in value, but it retains its value. Okay, sometimes it will go up, but it retains its value no matter what. Um, so that is what I would say to you. And then if you can save up, and if you can also borrow a loan, you can invest into property, okay, or rent to rent. So you rent a property to rent it out. You can do that, okay. That's another thing that you can venture into. But you can also create products, digital products that you can sell online, or start an online business, to generate passive income, have cash flow that you can um, then invest into other things. Okay, apart from your 9 to 5, you can invest into assets using that money. Okay, um, and then and so um, and that's another thing that I'm doing. Like, I've got an online store that I run, okay, as a business, and it helps me out to have constant cash flow. But I also create um, products that I can sell as well. So I have books that I've written that I can sell, okay, to get me um more income, apart from just investing in the assets that I invest in. Okay, so business is part of the asset class. Okay, the 4 asset classes. Okay, so that is something that you can do. Okay, don't just sit there and feel like you're helpless. And also, another thing that maybe you can cut down on doing is like borrowing money for things that are liability. I find like the working class, because they're becoming poor, but they want to live a certain lifestyle, and it's not a crime to want to live a certain lifestyle, but you have to you know make sure that you're making more money if you want to live in that lifestyle, if you want to maintain a certain lifestyle. um so I find that they'll still go and be living in areas like expensive areas, yeah, that they can't afford to rent. um, it takes most of their money to rent that property, and then most of their money is spent on bills as well as other things. But apart from that, they also spend, they buy, they buy things that are liability. Like, they'll go and get a car on credit. They'll go and get phones on credit. They'll go and get maybe TV on credit. Like, they want to furnish their house, they'll furnish things on credit, use using credit. So like they'll get a TV on credit, they'll get a bed on credit. They'll get maybe fridge on credit, freezer on credit, you know. And this buy now, pay later is a scam because they know that there's a percentage, um, there's a 50% chance that you know you'll fall back on your payment, and that's how they get more interest, and that's how they make their money off of you. So if you can minimize getting into debt, if you can minimize um, getting into debt and pay things using more cash than the buy now pay later scheme, you are better off that way. And if you are going to borrow money, only borrow to buy assets that will bring you back cash. Okay, that will make you more money. So if you're borrowing, for example, to start a business, or if you are borrowing to buy a house that you if you're borrowing to buy a house that you will rent out and it will make you monthly income, then that is a good reason to borrow. But if not, there's no point of you borrowing money if you can avoid it. Okay, I know there's circumstances that warrants you borrowing sometimes, but if you can go without borrowing, you're better off that way. And also avoid being a guarantor for other people. You know, people who maybe want to rent a house, they don't have good credit, and then you become their guarantor. When anything happens, you end up having to pay, and that's how you get yourself into debt. And also borrowing for other people, and and then you can't, and they can't pay you, and they can't pay you back, and then you have to pay that money back from your own pocket. That is also a bad thing. So try and avoid those things. Um, if you don't have it to give, don't force yourself to give it. And that's something that I live by, a principle that I live by. If I don't have it to give to you, it doesn't matter. You're going to go without, and I'm not going to borrow. I'm not going to stress myself and borrow. I'm not going to put myself into debt for you. Okay? And even when it comes to myself, like if I don't have cash and I need something, I'll wait. I'll go without that thing, and I'll wait until I have money. I'll budget it. I'll put it in my budget for the next time when I have cash. So that is how you should do it. Even for your children, budget it. If you don't have the cash to buy them whatever they wanted, maybe they wanted a toy, maybe they needed an outfit, or they needed some resources, and you don't have the cash straight away, put it in your next budget, so then you get it. So then you can tell them, you know, that I don't have it right now, but you have to wait for, you know, for this long, and then you will get it when I have more money. And that way children know that they have to have a budget, that they know that there's patience involved with getting things, you know. And so yeah, so that's how I deal with it. That's how I deal with it. So if the working class is becoming the new poor, then what are the poor doing? You know? Then what are the poor doing? The poor, unfortunately, end up dying, which is sad because they can't afford to live. They can't afford it. Another thing also, decrease your expenses while you make more money. Okay, so the more money you make, it doesn't mean you should inflate your lifestyle. So do things that will cut down costs, cut down your bills. For example, we grow our own food, so there are certain food items that we don't buy. Like I don't buy cordial drinks anymore because we have fruits that we can make fruit juices out of. I don't buy seasoning herbs unless I have to, because we grow our own seasoning herbs. I buy I only buy vegetables when I need to, because we grow some vegetables as well. And then I budget, and I buy everything like when it's on sale. When things are cheaper and I have money, I go and I need them. I go and I buy them and I put them in my budget, and I go and I buy them. And then I also make sure that within my budget is money for investment a business, towards my business, or towards an asset. And I also make sure that my children's money, like some of you get child benefit for your children, which is meant to be used to look after your children. Now, instead of just spending all that money on looking after them, you know, take a percentage of it and invest in assets for them. So, like my children, both of them, they get silver. They get silver. I take a percentage of their money and buy them silver. Sometimes I buy them one silver, sometimes I buy them two. When they used to be quarter silver, I used to buy them fives, but now there's no quarter silver. I buy them 1 ounce silver, and sometimes I buy them one or two of that. Okay, so then whatever leftover money they have, then I use that to maybe buy them their clothes they need, maybe their toys, maybe their shoes, take them out for a treat so that they can do fun activities, as a treat. So that's basically it. Let me know some of your coping techniques with this current economic crisis. Like, what are you doing to cope? What are you doing to not just cope but thrive? Okay, because there are opportunities out there. You don't necessarily have to be broke, but you have to know what the wealthy are doing. What the wealthy are doing, so that you can also do it. Do the parts that you can do. That is it, guys. I shall see you in the next video. I'm just heading off to my allotment block. So I shall see you in the next video. Bye.